Hold on 1 second, everybody. Thank you. Hey, Terrance, can you hear us?
No, I think it's fine.
Hey, Terrance, can you hear us?
Is that better?
Much better, Terrance. Much better. Thank you, Terrance. All right. So, hey, Keith, can you? We're going to go back. We're going to resume back to where we are, back to where we were. Keith, please go ahead. If you could re-ask the question you did, because I don't think I don't think we all heard Terrance's answer. So, Keith, please go ahead when ready.
I think all I had asked him was he surprised that Kell Brook said what he said about making him quit or stopping him in the fight?
I was saying, no, not really. He's supposed to feel that way coming into one of the biggest fights of his career. He's not the only opponent that went into the fight believing that they was going to stop me or knock me out. So that's nothing new for me. He's just going to have to live up to his words.
Thanks, Terrance.
Thank you very much, Keith. Let's see who else. Now we go over to the UK with Pep Talk, our friends over there. So please unmute and go ahead when ready, sir.
Hey, Terrance, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Hey, what's going on?
Terrance, Kell Brook has questioned your credentials at 147 pounds and says that you've not fought anyone of note. Would you make of his comments?
Well, I'm fighting him, so that's all that matters. If he feels I never fought nobody at 147 or I don't have any credibility, then this should be a cakewalk for him.
You've been out the ring for almost a year. Is it a bit risky going back in the ring with a well-decorated fighter in Kell Brook at 147 pounds?
Not at all.
I'm a world champion.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm great. I feel good. I feel strong. I can fight at the end of the day. So being out the ring is not going to affect me or hurt me in any way, shape, or form.
Thank you very much. And again, please use the raise hand button or send a private message on the chat if you'd like to ask Terrance a question. So now we go back to the UK. Jonathan Nagyoff. Jonathan from Pro Boxing Fans, please go ahead when ready.
Hey, Terrance. Where do you rank Kell Brook in terms of the opponents you've faced in your whole career, and how long has Kell Brook been on your radar for?
Well, I actually can't rate him because I've never been in a ring with him yet. And actually, he never was on my radar from the jump. This was a fight that he wanted, that he kept calling for. And, once the Pacquiao fight didn't fall through, he was the next option, given that the circumstances of COVID and whatnot. So, I must have been on his radar. He never was on my radar, but he's on my radar now. And we fighting this weekend. That's what it is.
All right. Thank you very much. And now we move ahead to Sean Zattel from Fight Hype. Sean, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hey, Terrance. I know from speaking with you in the past, you were talking about getting into, you were enforcing more exchanges or allowing more exchanges to happen, trying to please the fans, be in fights that please the fans. And do you want to, and then you talked about maybe getting more back to boxing heading into this next fight. Is that what we see with Brook? I mean, we know you've been boxing brilliant, but are you going to try and pitch more of a shutout performance or still go ahead and, let those exchanges rattle off so you can go for the knockout? Or
well, I'm gonna do me. Once I get in the ring and assess my opponent And once the fight get going, then I'm gonna do me. If the knockout comes, it comes. If it don't, then we prepared to go 12 hard rounds.
Did you get a chance to see his last fight when he knocked out a fighter, Mark DeLuca? And what'd you think of that fight if you got a chance to see it?
I actually didn't get to see it. So,
how do you think too much is being made about the losses he's had in his past against Spence and Golovkin heading into this fight?
Yeah, I'm not worried about people trying to say he washed up or trying to downgrade him. I use that as a distraction. I'm prepared for the best Kell Brook that we possibly can prepare for come Saturday. And we're going to be ready for whichever Kell shows up this week.
If he does show up in that form, like he did against, Golovkin and Spence, what kind of fight do you think of it as in your head? How do you see it playing out?
It's going to be a good fight, but who knows? I'm sharp as a razor right now, so we're going to see.
Hey, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sean. Let's see who else we have over here in the chat queue. So we're going to go back. Terrance, very popular in the UK since his days against Ricky Burns. We go to Gaz from Behind the Gloves. Gaz, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hey, Terrance, it's Gaz from Behind. It's been mentioned already that Kell Brooks fought Golovkin, Spence, where he's given a really good account of himself. Is there anything Kell Brook does that worries you?
Not at all. I didn't see it at all. Given that Kell Brook has fought a lot of good opponents.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with the connection. Please try again in a moment.
What's that?
I think that was on Gaz's end. So, sorry, you were mentioning about Kell Brook.
No, I was just saying, we're gonna be ready for whatever. Like, I'm not focused or worried about any of that Kell Brook, gonna bring to the table, because I'm gonna adjust to whatever it is that he does. Stop!
I guess now Terrance is outside, so we go ahead to Jake Donovan from Boxing Scene. Jake, please go ahead when ready.
Thank you very much, Evan. I have the same question for Terrance and for Todd. It's about Relentless. Terrance, I just wanted to know what you thought of seeing the shoulder programming going into this fight, and how it feels to have that kind of attention, that big fight attention, without it having to be a pay-per-view.
I don't know. I don't know. It feels good for the content to be out there. I feel like it should always be out there, whether it's a pay-per-view or not. I consider this a big fight for boxing fans, and yeah.
Okay, very cool. Thanks, Terrance. I appreciate it. And Todd, if you can kind of answer the same question, just how important is it for Top Rank's best pound-for-pound fighter to get this type of attention?
Well, I mean, this is obviously, it's one of our priorities is constantly keeping it going and keeping the awareness and getting Terrance Crawford as mainstream as possible. And I think we can all talk about in the boxing world how great he is, and we all live in a little, and sometimes a little world. And our job as his promoter, and our job is to make him as big as possible. And when we bring him to the biggest platforms and the biggest network, when he's showing in his fights and they do big numbers, those are terrific. We have, obviously, you saw Relentless. It was part of that. I think in Terrance's last fight, we had blood, sweat, and tears. These are shows that we produce in-house. I think, and Terrance can speak on it. I think Andre and Terrance have a really good interaction. We saw that back in December when they sat down for a talk. And so when we did Relentless, I think the two of them feed off each other really well. And I think you get the best out of Terrance there. And then we're going to have real time this week. So we'll have weekly posts of everything going on and content being circulated everywhere to drive awareness. And this is what our job is. And then it's Terrance's job to come off the way he is and show people in the ring the night before and show people outside of the ring, who he is and what makes him so special.